Dr. George Doodnaught, convicted of preying on the most vulnerable of women 3 years ago, began his appeal here today. The anesthesiologist was found guilty of sexually assaulting 21 of his patients as they lay partially sedated in the operating room. And I do want to warn you that this story has graphic details.
For it to be insinuated that we're lying and that we're not remembering, I'm sorry, you can't have 21 people hallucinate with the same person and the same things.
A handful of Dr. Doodnaught survivors came to court on day one of his appeal, some shaking their heads, others groaning, as the defense argued that the trial judge erred in convicting Doodnaught some 3 years ago. A number of the allegations, he said, simply could not have occurred. They are a product of unreality, hallucination, or flawed recollection. These are not your typical police crime reenactment photos. Operating rooms at North York General Hospital, where between 2006 and 2010, 21 women were found to have been sexually assaulted as they lay partially sedated.
I was one of the women who was used to help him masturbate. I woke up with my hand on his genitals and he was forcing my hand.
He was French kissing me. He was fondling my breasts. He had his penis in my mouth. I remember seeing his wedding ring. And I absolutely could not believe that this was happening to me.
The appeal is based on the room you see in these photos and claims Doodnaught would have had to go through an obstacle course of equipment in a confined space with surgical staff nearby to have carried out what he was accused of. His lawyer says the trial judge ignored or rejected evidence that was inconsistent with guilt and inconsistent with the physical realities of the operating room.
To hear a lawyer stand up and say that it was physically impossible to happen what you say happened in that OR.
That is, to me, a big slap in the face. He was the one controlling the drugs. He would sexually assault, put us under, and then it was just for brief moments, but it happened.
Doodnaught was convicted in 2014 and sentenced to 10 years in jail. The appeal has taken 3 years to begin.
A guilty person on a felony case, automatic, has the right to appeal. I personally believe our criminal system is so flawed, you do not get the right to an appeal unless there's a case to appeal. There is no case.
And then there's this. Dr. Doodnaught, described as a serial sexual predator at trial, is technically still a doctor.
His license is only suspended.
Yeah, he's still a doctor.
He's still a doctor.
Which is just
so
awful. And
I can't wrap my head around that.
Now, Doodnaught tried to get bail when he was convicted 3 years ago, pending the appeal that began today, but the judge at the time denied it, saying that the grounds for appeal were weak and not likely to succeed.